Hi, thank you for joining us. We're here at the UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon, Portugal, and joining us today is the Administrator of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Dr. Spinrad. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
You're the Administrator of the Ocean Climate Agency in the US. Why is it important that you're here this week?
So this is a UN Ocean Conference, and ocean is so much about what we do. It's in our name, right? And whether it's commerce or climate or transportation, there are parts of our portfolio in the oceans, from research to operations, that depend on coordination with our international colleagues. We like to think of it as an Earth system, and so consequently getting the relationships on a bilateral basis, dealing with policies on a global basis, understanding what we need to provide to our colleagues, and also providing some of the capacity development capability through training, through new programs. That's all part of our portfolio, and there's no better way to do all that than to come to one place all together, talk with the people that have similar interests to us. And the last thing I'd say is there are very high level folks. It's ministerial level folks who are here. So it's great we can get scientists together at scientific meetings. We can also get people who are policy developers, decision makers here to identify where the priority should be for our respective national programs.
And I can imagine it's much different meeting in person than over Zoom.
Absolutely. I've had any number of meetings here since we got here where these were people I've known for a few years but never met them in person, and just the difference in the dialogue when you're face to face with someone and able to read the body language, have shared experiences. The difference also is how we use our time when we're in person, right? So you can be walking down the hall, going to get a cup of coffee, having lunch together. That time is extraordinarily valuable for networking, for building up on those relationships that started with a Zoom call.
So ocean climate action will be a very important part in reaching our climate goals in the US. Can you talk a little bit more about the announcement that President Biden made earlier this month?
Yeah, we're very excited about that. This, of course, is the last day of Ocean Month, but for us, it's Ocean Month every month of the year. And in the announcement that was made, we've focused on any number of things that we're going to do that address how climate is impacting the oceans and how oceans are critical to mitigating and adapting to climate change. So for example, we know that there's a global goal to keep warming under 1.5 degrees C. It turns out that blue carbon, for example, can contribute up to 20% of the solution that will get us to 1.5 degrees C. If we understand how to invest in blue carbon, how to account for it. So part of the announcement that the White House made was on natural capital and inventorying how much blue carbon we've got. But the announcement also included ocean aspects like green shipping, for example. So there are big implications for industry, implications for us at NOAA in terms of our ability to help the shipping industry be more efficient. And then there's things like renewables. Offshore wind is part of this as well. So we're really excited with the 30 gigawatts by 2030 of offshore wind agenda that the Biden-Harris administration has built up. And we are working with our other agency colleagues to make sure we provide the data and information necessary to make decisions about where exactly do you put offshore wind and how do you do it in an environmentally sustainable manner so it's not impacting ecosystems and fisheries.
Great. So NOAA has made climate products and services an important priority and has created a climate council within the agency.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why you've made this a focus of your tenure and why that's important?
The Climate Council has really evolved to a really important piece of what we're doing in NOAA. Originally, a year ago, after I was confirmed, I said we need to have a way internally of coordinating what goes on in the weather service, in the ocean service, in our research portfolio, and the fishery service, all of which are our line offices. So we said, let's create a council, let's have it report to the administrator, let's meet regularly, talk about programmatics, talk about personnel, talk about priorities. That's been enormously valuable, but I realized after a couple of months of this council doing its work, there was another really important aspect, and that was offering this up as an external engagement vehicle. So I've been talking with people from other departments, Treasury, Energy, Transportation, and I've said to their leadership, do you want to meet with us, NOAA, to learn about what our capabilities are, but also to share with us what your priorities are for climate products and services? and it's been amazing. We have had highest level discussions with these kinds of other federal agencies, and we've learned really well how we can tune our products and services to meet their mission needs. And they've gotten a good understanding about what kind of products are available for building financial policy, economic tools. So it turns out to be an enormously valuable vehicle for internal coordination and external engagement.
Great, that's fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
So yeah, there is. One of the really exciting things that we're doing at NOAA right now is organizing our capabilities around a concept that I call the new blue economy. So it's really the economic development around information and knowledge, not extracting anything but data from the ocean. And it turns out there's a real market for that. And so part of what I've been doing here in Lisbon this week is trying to figure out what are the capabilities for building out this information economy and what do the market assessments look like. And that's been a really exciting development this week.
That's great.